The blade is not much to look at. Gray iron, a plain edge, held low at a man's side in the torchlight. It has not moved. Watch the others instead. The vault doors, 3 handspans of black iron, sealed, barred, older than the men set to guard it. 2 of them stand before it. When the man with the plain blade steps into the corridor, the nearer guard's hand tightens on his spear until the knuckles go white, and then, slowly, he steps back, not toward the intruder, away from the door behind him, as if the door were the thing to fear. The second guard swallows and cannot finish it. His throat works! Once! Twice! He looks at the sealed iron at his back, whole and unmarked and barred from within, and he looks at the plain gray edge that has not risen an inch, and something in his face gives way, the way a man's face gives way when he already knows how a thing ends and is only waiting for it to. Arrive. The blade lifts. Only a little, just to the height of a heartbeat. The guards do not draw, they do not shout. The nearer one presses his back flat to the wall beside the door, beside it, never in front of it, and shuts his eyes. Look again at that one! The iron beside him is unbroken, cold, sealed, and still he stands pinned to the stone, as though the distance between him and whatever waits behind that door has already been spent, already crossed, already lost. The edge hangs there, ordinary, patient, an inch from beginning. What does an edge have to do? That iron 3 hand spans thick forgets how to be a door. That grown men back away from a stroke that has not fallen and press themselves clear of a road that is not there yet. Before the vault door. Before the 2 guards who do not yet know what they are guarding. Look at what the gray edge does when there is nothing standing in front of it to prove. A cliff. Sheer granite, 100 feet of it. The kind of wall a road bends around because no road has ever gone through. The wielder does not slow as he nears it. He walks at the mountain the way other men walk at an open gate. He swings. The edge bites. One clean line, waist high, drawn left to right, and the stone does not crack, does not shatter, does not fall away in pieces. It unseams. The rock parts along the cut like 2 halves of a heavy curtain drawn back on their rings, and where the mountain stood solid a breath ago, there is now a corridor, straight, bored clean, its walls smooth as poured wax and already warm to the touch. Light comes from the far end. Not torchlight. Daylight. The daylight of the other side, a mile of mountain away, pouring down the fresh passage as though the tunnel had always been there and the rock had merely forgotten it. Dust blasts outward. Shards ring off his greaves. His cloak snaps forward in the shove of air. The opening mountain pushes ahead of itself. He flinches at none of it. One boot is already lifting, already inside the new road, the heel of the other still turned to the world he is leaving behind. Watch the walls as he steps between them. They are not broken. No rubble underfoot, no wound in the stone, no scorch along the cut. The granite has not been damaged. The granite has been answered. Where the edge asked its one question. The mountain simply stopped being a wall and agreed to be a door. This is the rule at its plainest. Not a weapon that breaks things, a weapon that opens roads. The old records name one road above all the rest. At the top of the worlds, Bifrost is the burning rainbow bridge connecting Asgard, the home of the gods, and Midgard, the home of men. A road strung between 2 worlds, ending at Heimenbjorg, and guarded, always guarded, because a road between worlds is the single thing every wall was ever built to prevent. Dissy mare. That is the shape of what walks through the mountain now. Not a blade that cuts across a bridge, a blade that is the bridge, that lays the crossing down wherever the edge lands and asks no watchman's lead to do it. Push it then, one plain step. If 100 feet of granite will unseam into a lit corridor at a single stroke, if solid rock would rather fold into a doorway than stand and resist, then what, exactly, is a vault door of black iron 3 handspans thick? What is any wall at all to a thing that only ever makes roads? He is already through the mountain. Behind him, the 2 guards still stand at their sealed door, facing it, certain of it. They are watching the wrong side. You saw what the gray edge did to 100 feet of granite. Stone does not argue. It only stands there, and standing there was never enough. So take the stone away and give the edge something that was built to say no. A fortress, then. Not a door. A hole keeps sealed against the world, ringed in wards laid down one over another, circle inside circle, every sigil a hand that has spent 1,000 years learning to stay shut. Chains of light cross the gate. The runes turn slowly in their rings, feeding each other, closing what was already closed. Nothing crosses this. That was the entire point of building it. He walks up to it the way he walked up to the cliff. Low blade, loose grip, no hurry, he strikes. Watch the wards, not the man. The outermost circle whitens at the point of contact, then buckles, not bursting outward the way glass would, but folding the wrong way, folding inward the way burning paper curls toward the flame that eats it. The second circle catches the fold and gives 2. Then the third. The seals do not break so much as change their minds about which way they open. Here is the part the builders never let themselves picture. A seal is only a road that has been told to end. The edge does not argue with that. It keeps the road and deletes the ending. The concentric rings straighten as they collapse, unspooling from circles into a single lit corridor. And the corridor drives inward. Through the gate, through the ward stone, through the sealed dark, no one alive has stood inside. And it does not stop at the far wall because there is no longer a far wall. Only more road. The chains of light snap and stream past him like sparks thrown off a grindstone. The sigils that spent 1,000 years learning to stay shut spend one heartbeat learning the opposite. The tunnel swallows him forward into the place that was never meant to have an inside anyone could reach. So carry the rule to the end of its own logic. If the one thing this edge does is make a way in, then a wall is a way in. A barred door is a way in. A world torn loose from all the others and sealed 3 times over is a way in that simply hasn't been struck yet. Kept out was always a story the wards told about themselves. The strike does not break the story. It just stops being bound by it. And now something stands inside a place that had no inside. Which leaves the question the 2 guards at that first vault door still haven't thought to ask. If nothing can ever be shut against this, then what were they truly set there to keep, and who decided it should one day be let out? You have watched a sealed keep come apart from the inside. Keep would have taught you, a wall is only a promise and the gray edge breaks promises. Now lift your eyes off the ground entirely and look up. A bridge climbs out of the dark. It is on fire and it is made of color, red bleeding into gold, gold into a cold burning green, an arc of flame thrown from a black mountain shore up into the clouds, where a hall of gold waits at the roof of the world. This is the god's own road. They raised it to join their high seat to the earth below, and they laid it in living fire. Watch, now, how such a road is defended. Look for the gate. There is none. Look for the wall across its mouth, the bar, the iron door. 3 handspans thick like the one 2 guards stood in front of. Nothing. The span runs open from foot to summit, wide as a battle line, and anything with legs could set a foot on the burning stone and start to climb. There is only a man, one watchman, planted at the bridge's mouth in bright armor, a horn slung at his hip, his sword already drawn and lifted across the road. He does not stand in a doorway, because there is no doorway to stand in. He stands in the open air, his own body the single thing set between the burning road and the hall above it. Hold on that a moment. The gods, who could hang a bridge of fire between worlds, did not seal it. They, of all builders, knew the thing your eyes have been learning since the cliff came apart. A road, once it exists, cannot be unmade. A wall can be broken. A gate can be forced. But no hand unbuilds a way once the way is laid. So they did not try. Knowing they could never close it, they left it open on purpose and set one pair of eyes at its foot to mark who came. That is the record. The burning bridge ends at the watchman's hall, and the watchman keeps it against everything that would climb up from below. Now push that one step past the record. If the wisest builders of all, holding every fire of the sky, could not make a road that closes, then the gray edge at the other man's side is not cutting new roads at all. It is only finding the one the gods already confessed was always there. Every wall it has opened, every sealed thing it has walked clean through, was never truly shut. The keep, the cliff, the vault, each of them only ever had a watchman standing in the open, pretending the road behind him were a gate. And a watchman can be walked past. The horn has not sounded, the sword is still raised. And far below the burning bridge, down in the torchlight, a plain gray edge is still held low at a man's side. And it has not moved! Stay on the corridor he just opened. It is still cooling. A straight wound cut clean through the sealed place. Walls glass smooth, embers drifting up off the floor where the gray edge passed. He carved it to get in. Now watch what uses it to get out. From the far bright mouth of the cut, something moves. Not settling rubble. A footfall. Then a second, nearer, and the burning road flares white beneath it and throws its heat down the passage toward him. A shoulder fills the corridor. Then a helm. Then the whole of it, a vast armored shape, plain iron taller than the passage was ever cut to hold, and it does not stoop to fit. It widens the cut as it comes. Each step hammers the glowing floor and drives the fire outward ahead of the heel, a wave of sparks rolling down the tunnel and breaking against his boots. The man who opened the road stands in his own doorway with the gray edge half lifted. His arm is up. It does not finish rising. For the first time, the edge is not the thing arriving down the corridor. It is the thing being walked toward. Hold there. A road keeps no direction of its own. Cut a line into a place that was sealed for a reason, and you have not made an exit. You have made a throat that breathes both ways, and it does not care which way the breath goes first. Put it plainly, the way it lands standing here and not the way it reads on a page, whatever you cut open, you have also cut a way in. Every door you drive through a wall now faces you. Remember the cliff, remember the keep that came apart from the inside. Each time the gray edge struck, it left a road behind it, and a road left open is a road anything can travel. He did not think about the far end, because there was never anything on the far end before. 100 feet of granite has no far end, only more granite. But a sealed place is sealed against something, and the something was always on the other side of the door waiting for a door. Look back up one last time at the bridge you saw a moment ago, the burning one climbing out of the dark. Notice what it was never given: no gate, no bar, no lock across its bright end. You cannot lock a road. A lock only knows one direction and a road knows both. So the makers did not seal it. They stood someone at the top of it instead. Awake, unmoving, eyes fixed on the far shining end, set there for exactly this instant, not to hold the door shut, to see the moment something on the other side decides to come down it. The footfalls in the corridor do not slow. The heat keeps climbing toward him. The far end was never empty. It was only waiting for someone to cut it away through. Stay on the corridor from the last breath, the cut that opened from both ends, and follow it up to where it stops, a span of burning color and one man standing at its mouth. He has been standing there a long time. The armor at his shoulders has gone dull from a watch that never once ended, and one hand already rests on the rim of a horn slung across his chest. A horn longer than his forearm, curved like a ram's, its mouth wide enough to swallow a fist. Look at his feet before anything else, planted. Not braced for a blow, not set to swing. He was never built to fight the thing that crosses. He was built to see it first and to do one thing about it. And now, at the far bright end of the bridge, a foot comes down on the color. Watch him move, the dull shoulders wake. He hauls the great horn up off his chest with both hands, drags its cold mouth to his lips, and pours every breath he owns down into it. His cheeks swell tight. The cords in his neck stand out like wet rope, and the sound leaves the horn as a thing your eye can follow, a ring of pressure rolling outward across the span, shivering embers off the rails, bending the light of world after world as it rolls through them, one, then the next, then the next. At Ragnarok, the watchman lifts the Gjallarhorn and its blast is heard through all the worlds the instant the enemy sets foot on the bridge. That is written. Now hear what the blast is actually saying. It does not fall across the span to stop the foot that just landed. It does not close the road behind it. Every god and every hall it reaches will catch the same notes and understand the same single fact: someone is already across. The horn does not hold the crossing back. The horn announces that the crossing could not be held back. It is the loudest sound the gods know how to make, and everything it can do is name the thing that has already arrived. Carry the two-way door up here with you. The road was cut from one side and stayed open for whatever chose to walk out the other. A door with no far wall is only a wall with a hole punched clean through it. The watchman is the gods' own admission that they knew. They set a sentry at the mouth of the one road that mattered and handed him no sword, no bar, no gate. They handed him a horn, a voice. The makers of the burning bridge built themselves a guardian whose entire purpose was to stand at the top of the world and scream the exact instant it was already far too late. The foot is on the bridge, the horn is still ringing out across 9 worlds. And on the near side, nobody has moved to stop it, because there was never a single thing they could have done. So the next question, the one the horn just asked of every hall at once, begins to arrive. Stay with the watchman one breath longer, then lift the camera up off him, up and back, until he is a single dulled shape at the mouth of the burning span, and the whole night opens out beneath. Now the wielder does the one thing you have not seen him do. He turns, he looks behind him, and behind him is everything he has ever cut. Count them if you can hold them all in frame. The cliff from the first breath, still split, 100 feet of granite parted down its middle and glowing at the seam, no rockfall closing it, no stone growing back. The keep, its wards hanging open like a jaw that cannot shut, the straight wound through it still lit from end to end. The vault, the fortress, the bridge, every wall he ever answered, all of it laid out across the dark and burning straight lines. Corridors torn through mountains and gates and warded stone, dozens of them, and not one has healed. That is the part no one says when they put a blade like this in a man's hand. It was given the power to open. It was never given the power to shut. The edge knows one direction only. Draw it across the world and the world stays drawn. See what that means, spread out under him. He cannot walk any of it back. He cannot reseal the vault he broke to reach the thing inside it. He cannot lower the granite closed over the road he made. Every door he passed is a door that stays past, for him and for whatever came out of the bright mouth of the cut behind him and is standing in the corridor now, unhurried, because that corridor is not his to close either. Bend the rule to its coldest angle and watch where it lands. A weapon that can breach anything and seal nothing is a weapon that turns on its own wielder the moment he wants the door shut again. Suppose he does. Suppose, standing on the burning color with the horn still ringing under everything, that low shockwave you have felt since the watchman first raised it, still traveling, never once fading? Suppose he decides the last road was one too many, that he wants it back. There is no back. The blade holds no closing edge to give him. He can strike again, open another, and another. He cannot uncut, he cannot unsound the horn already carrying through all the worlds, and it will not stop because he changed his mind. Everything he ever broke stands open behind him, lit, patient, and pointed the other way now, not into the places he wanted, out of them. Toward him, he carries the one thing that opens every road and closes none. So the question the whole night is asking, from every burning corridor at once, is not, can he get in? It is, now that all of it stands open, what gets out? Follow where he is looking. Behind him the roads run out in every direction, and not one of them ends. Every wall he opened is still open, every cut still breathes its thin smoke. They do not stop at the edge of anything, and that was the one thing the Grey Edge promised and never took back. No wall, no span of empty ground, no barred and buried place turns it away. Hold that on your tongue for a moment. Anywhere. Say it slow, because a word that keeps no exceptions has just done a thing no hand meant it to do. If anywhere leaves nothing out, truly nothing, then it has already found the single place built to be left out. Now the camera lifts off the field of open roads and picks one. Just one! Out of the hundreds! It goes down the throat of it. The glassed walls slide past, close and smooth, embers drifting up off the floor where the edge once passed. The far mouth of this corridor is not dark like the others. It is lit. It has been lit this whole time, low and red, and you did not turn to see. Closer. The camera does not slow. The far end does not frame stone. It does not frame night. It does not frame a bridge of burning color. It frames fire, an ocean of it rolling to a red seam of horizon. Walls of flame standing up where a sky should be, a blazing sky standing up where flame should end. This is the world the wards were laid against, the one the fortress in the second breath was only a small echo of, ring after ring of ceiling meant to hold a door like this shut for all of time. Roads were bent around it since the beginning so that no road would ever come to its edge, and a road just came to its edge. Watch the mouth of the cut. It does not close, it cannot close. That was the whole shape of the thing from the first 100 feet of granite. It opens and it stays open, and closing was never in it. So now the one door it will never shut hangs wide onto a horizon of rolling flame. Heat climbs back up the corridor toward you. The air over the floor bends and swims. The embers are not drifting up now. They are pouring down the tunnel, streaming toward the camera, riding the draft of a world exhaling through a wound that will not scar over. Turn the word one notch tighter and the picture closes itself without any help. A road that can never be sealed, laid open on the one place everything was spent to seal, not broken into once and mended behind, held open, standing wide. And on the far side of it, patient as an ocean, the fire has all the time it was never supposed to get. Stay on the span from the last breath. The burning bridge still standing, the watchman gone small behind us, the road's B7 opened running out into the dark. For 7 beats you have watched the Grey Edge cut roads one way, through granite, through a warded keep, up the corridor and out into color and fire. Now hold still and watch a road open the other way. At the far mouth of the bridge, down where the fire world bleeds up into the night, the color changes. Something is coming toward the hall, not one shape, a host, a king of fire rides at its head. Flame stands off his shoulders like a crown that will not burn down, the steed under him a moving coal, and behind him the span fills, rank on rank, swords lifted, every blade its own small sun. They do not slow at the wards. Nothing on this bridge was ever built to slow them. It was built to keep them out, and that is a different thing, and the difference is the whole story. Here is what is written. At Ragnarok, Surtur and the sons of Muspel ride out of the fire world and cross the rainbow bridge to storm the god's hall, and the span shatters beneath their charge. Read it twice. The bridge was raised to keep the fire out. Its one gift was the gift the Grey Edge gives, a road to anywhere. And the road that reaches anywhere reaches here. It reaches the last door. It reaches the hall standing behind the watchman's turned back. Watch it break. Under the weight of the charge, the color fractures. A hairline first, running down the burning arch, then a whole panel of light tearing loose and falling, stone and flame turning end over end into the void beneath. The host does not fall with it. The host is already across. The bridge only had to hold long enough to let the ending walk in, and it held, and now it is finished being a bridge. And in the falling light, look low! A thin, bright line lies across the frame, the scorch line, the first mark, from the very first breath, the one you were told to ignore while you counted the 2 guards at the vault. It was never the opening, it was this. The road home was drawn before the story began, and the ending has been walking down it the whole time. So the question is left standing where the bridge is not. Every cut you were shown him open, you called a way in, past the wall, past the seal, past the thing that said no, but a road keeps no direction, it only reaches. The one you opened to reach what you wanted is open still, both ways, and something is on it now, coming toward the single door you left unguarded at your own back. You cut the road to get out. Now ask what is using it to come in. Come back down, off the burning span, off the watchman, off the roads running out into the dark. Come all the way back into a small room you know, where a door stands sealed the way you left it. It is your door, it has never been anything else. In the near dark, a line begins to draw itself across the wood, low and level, the same gray bright scorch you have watched open granite and open a warded keep and open the very air above the world. You did not cut it. You are only standing here in a room that was supposed to be the one place the edge could not reach, watching the line finish itself across the grain. It does not hurry, that is the worst of it. It sears slow and even, the wood blackening at the margins, a thin curl of smoke lifting straight up, because there is no wind in here. There was never supposed to be anything in here. The seam reaches the far side of the door and stops. For one held breath, nothing moves. Then the 2 halves ease apart along the burn, and light comes through. Not lamplight, not fire you could name, but the cold, bright spill of the far side, heat rolling off it against your face, and something leans into the gap, a shape. Vast, shadowed, filling the glowing seam from its side of your door, one hand closing over the burning edge where the wood still glows, gripping it the way a man grips a rail before he steps down. It is not breaking in. Understand that. It does not need to break anything. The road is already open. It opened from both ends. It always did. Every wall the gray edge ever cut was a wall cut through in both directions at once. This is only the far mouth of a cut, and you are standing at the near one, and the thing on the other side has found that the road runs all the way to here. So hold still. Look at what the whole night has been telling you. A thing that strikes and opens a road that no wall and no distance and no sealed world can keep out. That thing can never, not once, keep anything out. Not a cliff, not a keep. Not a bridge full of fire, and not, at the very last, its own unmaking, walking down the one road it never had to cut, because you cut it for it, because the burned line was on your door before you ever knew the edge existed. It lifts its foot to step down. The far light widens. The scorch on your door cools from bright to dull red, the way every road it ever opened cooled behind it. Here is the only question left, and it is yours to keep. Every road that opens is also a road that cannot shut. You have doors, you have walls you call safe. One of them already has the line drawn on it, finishing right now in the dark from the other side. Which one is it?